Alright, this is the jig that I had built, the new one. I'm going to do a quick assembly. There's some subscribers that have interest in it and seeing how it went together. There are a few mistakes on it that I made in the drawing that I will correct on the drawing, and if you are interested in those corrected drawing, just let me know and I'll send it to you. They're not huge. The first mistake was I called this out as a 3-inch wide piece. It actually needs to be 2.5-inch wide for the way that I have it made, because when I first drew it, I drew these as a 1/2-inch wide, and later I changed them to 3/4-inch wide. And I forgot to take that extra 1/4 inch off of each side of this thing in the drawing, and so yeah, that needs to be 2.5 inches. And then the other mistake was these two holes here shouldn't be here. I should have put them on this plate in this area, so I'll just move those over and I'll correct the drawing like I said. So what I'm going to do is assemble this thing so people can see, that are interested, see how it goes together and how it's intended to work. And I countersunk these with a 1/2-inch countersink. Countersunk them deep so I didn't have to get it really long. These are just 3/4-inch long. These are 1-inch long countersunk ones, and then a couple of 1/2-inch long ones. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to take this is the upper slide plate, is what I call that. That piece is going to go under there. Then all of that is going to go, let's see, that piece wants to go under there with this hole towards the back of it, because that's going to be where your adjustment knob is going to go later on. Okay, so you want that hole towards the back. This has the threads in it. I already did all the threading and everything already. Okay, we're going to put the 4 1-inch long 1/4 countersunk ones in there. There it is. Now this is out of cold rolled steel. What I'm going to do is paint all this with a Cerakote H in a graphite black to keep corrosion and stuff off of it, because I'm using stainless steel on mild steel, so you get a dissimilar metal corrosion. And also when I do grinding, I use water as a coolant, and I don't want this to get rusted up, so I'm going to put that Cerakote on there later on. But I'm just doing this now to do a quick show on how it works. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. We've kind of built basically a little dovetail or a slide track. Okay. And there'll be some shimming and stuff with some real fine shim stock to compensate for the paint thickness later on, so that you'll get a nice slide and everything. And I'll show that final build video or final assembly video when it's done. Alright, now these are going to go under there. Like this. I think the light's better on this side. These are going to go under there like that. So you've got your plate, you got your center piece, and then you got this little piece that are all bolted together, and then you got these two slides that are not bolted to that. Put your little spacers on the top. And then this is the base plate. Get down there. I'm going to loosen these up just a hair so that it slides easy for the video, so you can get the idea of how it works. When I actually build it, this will be a little bit tighter, and I'll put some like half thousandths or so brass shim stock in between there. Okay, let me get this out of the way. So now you can see how it's assembled. We've got this piece, and this piece are bolted together, and then these 5 pieces are bolted together, and it'll give an action like that. Okay, so basically instead of paying $500 for a dovetail, this setup so far has cost me about $300, and that's just for the dovetail. That doesn't include any of the other work. And it slides real nice and is really pretty snug. Like I say, it's not tightened up yet, and I will do some final shimming and adjustments when I actually assemble it, but you can see the concept, how it's going to work. What's going to happen is I will mount a post. What's happening is I'm going to mount a post on the bottom there. Have an adjustment angle that'll come from that'll come up similar to this, with a knob back here that will push on this. Okay, so it'll push that in towards the belt. Then what's going to happen on the top end is these are going to be what I called the referred to in the drawing as the fixed angles. These are the ones that you want to make parallel with your platen face. So you get this square with your platen, and this parallel with your platen, and this side's perpendicular to your platen. And then you'll put what I do is I put a straight edge across the platen, and then these will slide up against that straight edge, and then I can snug them down where I want them. I actually want them to be back here myself. I like to keep them back farther in, so into this opening area. Keep them back farther into this area, so that the belt will stop out in here and won't be grinding away on the tool. Alright, then I've got this set up so I can use 2 bolts to just got a long one and a short one in there to snug those up. Right now, obviously, we're just doing an assembly review of it, so people can see how it goes together. And I kept the tolerances close on these because I don't want to have to battle with that with sloppy tolerances, which is one of the things that I noticed on my previous jig that I built out of scrap metal, and I didn't care about the tolerances so much. I did some battling with those. I was able to overcome it, but I decided that on this one I'm going to keep the tolerances closer because I can. I used a CNC machine to have this made for me. Okay, that's a little bit far, so I'm going to slide it back yet. There. Okay. So that's going to be the fixed angles. Those, once they're set with your platen, most probably you would never change those unless you actually removed your platen and did some adjustments to it that would cause it to be in a different plane than this, which might happen, but most of the time it won't happen. This is my little shelf plate that I use in here. And I use that for my blank carrier to write on. This is going to be the actual just sliding angle. we go. Okay, you see the idea here. This one will slide, and the plate slides independently, so that I can use, what I'll do then is I'll put the blank in here and clamp it up against these. So the blank is, this is before the blank has had any grinding done on it for the bevel. And so I'll clamp it up against those, which is parallel with the platen. Then I will have this in there to the distance that I want it, so that the carrier can ride on it. And then what I'll do is we'll just pretend that this Allen wrench is the blank. I will close this one up against it so that it's snug on the blank, and then I'll tighten this down. So then I've got this set, this thickness is set on both sides to the width of the blank pre-bevel. And then as I start to bevel it, and the carrier will be on there as well. So this distance here will be the blank and the carrier distance, whatever it is. If I use a 3/16 and a 1/4 inch carrier, it'd be a 3/16 blank plus a 1/4 inch carrier, and I just smash that on, put the carrier and the blank in there and just smash that on there, clamp it down, and then tighten these down, and it will stay in that position and hold it perfectly vertical, so you get good, even, uniform grind lines. And you can see it from the different angles. This is how it'll slide. The base will be fixed to the tool holder, and it won't move, and then the top will move by turning the knob. The top is going to turn, the top piece will slide in. Like I said, I've got about 300 in this so far. When I get it finished, I'll probably have 3 1/4, maybe 350 in it, because I'm going to sandblast it and Cerakote it. And then I'll weld a mounting post on the bottom of it so I can mount it in my tool holder like that. And then I've got to fabricate an angle that will come up under here and up like this, and I'll have to purchase a little knob that I can. So there's about another, oh, maybe $50 in it before it's done. So about $350. I'll have a jig that is, in my opinion, of course, since I built it and designed it, it's going to be many times better than the ones that are available currently in the market for $500 or more. It'll be good for hollow grinding and flat grinding. I can go very wide. I mean, I can grind a very wide knife, very, very wide. Wider than a person would really want to grind a knife. I can grind with this. This is how it looks like from the side. When you slide, this will slide along there. And I had these holes here drilled to 7/32, and what I was going to do is thread those and put a little ball screw. I don't know what you actually call the thing, but it's got a ball bearing on the end of it, and it looks like a little set screw with a ball bearing on it, and I'll use that to go in there and make any adjustments if there's slop in it. But as I put it together, it's so tight using this cold rolled steel that I'm not going to need those. But I put them there just in case. But the cold rolled steel is definitely, in my opinion, the way to go. This is stainless. This is stainless. This is stainless. I did the hardware. Bolts is stainless. I went stainless here because I had aluminum before and I wasn't pleased with the way the aluminum would kind of grab. It just wasn't hard enough against the knife steel. So yeah, that's the way it's going to look when it's all said and done. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.